Good morning, welcome to the farm. I was on my walk this morning. It is the 3rd of March, and I flushed 2 deer. And I was reminded very quickly that it is time, with everything coming out and starting to, not necessarily flower, but leaf out, that I need to do my deer prevention for the year. So I want to show you guys 3 ways. I've got my blackberries, you can see going all the way up through here. And I'm going to show you all 3 ways that you can keep the deer and the rabbits away. Rabbits are a big one too, without absolutely breaking the bank and having to be on guard all the time. So I'm going to show you a couple of things that you can do that can help. And then I'm going to show you a 3rd way if you really have a problem that is going to take care of it too. So I'm up here in the blackberry patch. We have about 30 blackberries, and we're going to be going up to 50 before the end of the year. And last year, the first 25 that we had were nipped pretty good about halfway through the year. I keep a pretty good record. I hope that everybody on a farm keeps a good record. And I really think a lot of the issues that we had last year towards the end of the season when the deer really came in was solely because we went 63 days without any water on the farm. It was a major drought, and reaching out to our local county extension coordinator and some of the other people that I trust that have a lot of experience have said that it really was not necessarily the greenery of the plants, because they did get our beets and they got our bok choy and our radishes as well. We've never had that problem before, but a lot of people said that they were more after the moisture than necessarily the plant. They wanted the moisture in the plants because even our trees around here were dried up. So anyway, let's get to the video. I'm going to show you 3 ways that are going to be beneficial that will stamp out your deer problem or suppress it back at least 90 to 95%. Let's go ahead and get on this. Okay, so what is going to be the 2 ways that you can combine these together? 2 different methods to get the best success. Number 1 is going to be something as simple as this. This I got from Sam's Club. It's a pretty big batch. You can see I've used some, but I put this in the bird feeder. My grandmother used to do this. I never understood it until I really started gardening on a farm of my own one day. So birds cannot be burned by this. Mammals with a tongue are affected by this. So squirrels will not get into your bird feeder, or again, let me back up. You can cut it down by 90-95% if you mix this in with your bird feed. My grandmother did it for years. I've done it for years, and it works. So take that into consideration. This is Maker's Mark crushed red pepper, 33.5 ounces. I don't think I paid over $6 or $7, and I've had this since last year. So pretty good investment. Number 2, you can always count on the Irish. And that's what we've got here, the Irish Spring. Now, I know 99% of you have heard about this, and Irish Spring works. And it does and it doesn't. So I've hung it from my apple trees. I've put it at the bottom of my plants. I've done all of that. But at the end of the day, these 2 combinations together work really well. Here's something that you need to know. And this is from a good amount of studying that I've done, is deer are more affected by their mouth than they are their body. So if you shock an animal, or you have some electric lineup, which I'm going to show you in a little while, if you do something like that, or even the scent, okay, you can keep them away. But if a deer bumps up against an electric fence that you might have up, they're going to come back. If they lean over on the fence and it pops the wetness of their nose or their mouth, they're not coming back. It's something about those 2. I guess it's a big difference of a little bit of a jolt and then getting, everybody used to take the battery and put it on their tongue. I guess it's that same thing, but we're going to be using this together. And what is it going to do? The smell of this is going to keep them away. Okay. Number 2, if they get brave and they come up and they try and get down and nibble, it's going to be this. So even if they lean over and they start to eat and they breathe in, it might get a little bit of this in there. So let's go ahead. I'm going to show you how I put this down in the easiest way. Okay, so here we are. I have my wire right here, my trellis wire, and I have another one up here. And then I have taken some survey tape and put this on. I don't really think this does a lot for the deer and keeping them away. But what it does do when I get in the zone is it keeps me from running into this with the tractor or whatever. So I'm going to show you how to do this. Here is my Blackberry that I have, and you can see that it's got a lot of sprouts and stuff coming off of it. It looks really good, and it's right on the edge, so the deer could come right up and do this. I'm going to take a little bit of this. I'm just going to sprinkle a little bit on. You really don't need much. And go outside of your plant a little bit, but as you can see, that's very, very little bit that I've done. I'm going to shake that off the leaves. It's not going to hurt it. And I'm going to take, let's see, get it around there right, the Irish Spring, and I'm just going to cut it into some sections. Be careful, because as you can see, when you start to cut, if you've never cut a bar of soap, all of a sudden it just breaks. And all that I'm going to do is, out of this, I'll get 6 pieces this big, and all I'm going to do is put one right on each side. Okay, that's it. I'm going to go through here, and I'm going to go ahead and do the rest of mine. But for this, you know, you've got a prevention in this. It's going to be less than $10. That's going to get you ahead and let these, especially these early sprouts, come up and really get. When you get a little bit more size on these, the peppers at the bottom aren't really going to make a difference, but you can actually take a piece of string and tie it around this, and you can hang it from your trellis wire if you want to. But I think that these 2 measures alone early here in the spring are going to make a difference. So let me go ahead and get the rest of these done. Okay, here is the third way, and I want to say right now, this also works for other things as well. So we have sheep on the farm, and every now and then I will have a lamb that wants to get through our electric fence. And one of the things that I will do is this method, and it works. So not only is wildlife, but also domestic animals are very, very attracted to that. Plain, simple, cheap peanut butter. So I'm going to show you how you can do this. If we have a lamb that goes over, I know we're talking deer, but I want to tell people out there that also have sheep or goats. If you have a lamb or a kid that keeps jumping over and you can't keep it contained, it doesn't respect it, if you put this on here and they lick it once, they will respect the wire from then on out. So I know that there's a lot of the larger farmers out there, the Greg Judys of this world, that say that if they don't respect the fence, you need to get rid of them. But if you have a small herd, one can make a difference. So let's go ahead and I'll show you how to do this. Take the lid off. Just take your garden tool or whatever you have. You don't need a lot, okay? And then what I do is I'll fold this, okay? Maybe twice. Get it to about that width. And then I normally will go down about 1, okay? Making sure you can see this. And I just squeeze it onto that line, okay? And then I just take the peanut butter and I put it on there. Here's the peanut butter set up on the wire. As I showed you, what it's gonna do is it's gonna arc, and it's just gonna hit right here. You can see it's gonna flap. This doesn't matter whether it's deer or wildlife or tame livestock animals. They're gonna hit that peanut butter because they're gonna smell it. And you can also get a Gallagher. You can also get a Gallagher charger like I have, and that has a wildlife setting. So when you set this up, you can actually connect this and wrap it around. You can wrap this poly braid around, or you can also use just your electric fencing like I use for the trellis. Just make sure that you insulate it and you can hook it right to that. But hope the video's been helpful. I appreciate you all logging on today and checking out the channel. Give me a thumbs up, and any questions or concerns, give me a call. Thanks.